Hello and welcome to Living As Is. I'm Shar, autistic, self-aware and awakening. I've mentioned before how as a child I was able to sense, see and work out what people were going to do before they did it. It's like spotting a mistake they were about to make. The downside to this is that it left me feeling out of place, and in many cases on my own. And it led to a life where I spent a lot of time contemplating how. Now, at the time, I had no other information or knowledge into how I may have been able to do what I was doing. With only the information in hand, I went into the world of alternative healing and on into the spiritual world, mainly because I had adopted the word psychic. As people and knowledge are expanding, there are scientists and psychologists and everyday people with expanded inner knowing, seeing there is far more to the human. I was going to say far more than imagined. However, it's more likely as power became more wanting than natural order was kicked out of the driving seat. Now, nature has a way of bringing order back to nature. Also, nature can never be completely ditched. And why? Because we're a part of nature. We are nature. What I've come to see, feel, and understand, there is a supernature, or call it a hypersensitivity within people. And it's not growing, it's actually existed for thousands of years. The difference is that it's being announced by scientists and psychologists that are now stepping away from the rigidness and locked mentality that has existed for years. But there's also another issue. The world of spiritual was hijacked a long time ago by people wanting power and money. It's really easy to manipulate someone when they want what you are selling. That is where the spiritual world was hijacked. Through self-awareness, I started to see the world around me was not as it seemed. Certain teachers were not awakened, let alone self-aware. They were simply intelligent. Then, stepping up my own game, awakening started to unfold deeper and deeper. This in turn brought about a sense the world was exactly as it was, because this is the way people made it out to be. This year, I found magic exists. However, not in the way of Merlin or Gandalf or wizards and witches. And no one's flying over on a broomstick. No, that's not happening either. I found magic in being human, in nature, in life and living. I found that neurodivergents are exponentially more sensitive than neurotypicals. However, that doesn't mean neurotypicals cannot increase their own sensitivity. Psychologists studying autism discovered neurodivergents that are so sensitive, they are saying they are supernature or hypersensitive. There's a gentleman, blind through life. He developed his own echolocation system. Some people called it bat sonar, but I think echolocation system actually suits it better. He achieves this through vocal clicking, little clicks. Daniel, that's the gentleman's name, teaches this system to others. I'll share a couple of links to Daniel in the YouTube description below. The body can find balance through vibrations, and the right vibration is wonderful for the body. It can aid a body that is out of balance back into balance. Come on. You must have felt music that can pick you up internally, get you dancing, get you jiving, or music that's too morose and you feel down and sad. It's just too slow. I do believe there have been reports made where it was examined about the type of music you listen to when you're driving. And if you're listening to a fast, upbeat music, it can, without thinking, have you driving fast. If you listen to a relaxing music, there's a tendency towards slower driving. The body and mind are both responding to the vibrations, both responding to the music. A really good example of sound vibrations that can assist is with singing bowls. And a good friend, Angela Callahan, of www.angelacallahan.com, is brilliant with the Himalayan singing bowls. I would not have shared videos of Angela if I didn't think so. And you can book online for a session with Angela. I'll put her link below. Magic exists all around us and lives within the human body. If we open our senses, open ourselves, we can sense the world in such a different way. In such a different way, you may even say magic opens. Through studies, and this is a statement I'm about to make, I feel some people just may not register with. So, through studies into autism, I strongly believe, as a neurodivergent, my sensitivity is how I'm able to do the things I do. That's the natural abilities of my human body. I've been having conversations with a friend into the natural magic of life and how it can be misunderstood or misinterpreted. My friend, Lila Sterling, runs a Substack called The Grounded Muse. Please do check it out, and her link will be below. Neurodivergents do not have the internal shut-off that neurotypicals have. This leads to a neurodivergent picking up all sorts of information from the world around them because they're not shutting down, so the information just keeps piling in. Now, to be able to shut off, the neurodivergent finds a way within themselves to shut the world off. This method that they find, it can be very different, neurodivergent to neurodivergent. The reason for this is quite simple, that each neurodivergent isn't trained and schooled in the same way as a neurotypical. I mean, if it's unknown that someone is autistic and they're receiving exactly the same schooling as everyone else, exactly the same training as everyone else, it doesn't mean they're going to pick it up. Because what will most probably happen is they're adjusting the world within themselves to be able to pick up what's taking place. But they're doing it their way. So, I'm using the word magic. But I'm using it to try and change its nuance. Change the way magic gets perceived as a system that can only be tuned into by a trained wizard or witch. Come on. But rather as nature, as natural, as grass growing, as much a part of the human body as your foot or hand. I've heard there are police officers that during a full moon, they state, the crazies come out. And I say, well, hell, why not? The moon has an effect on the Earth's tidal flows. The menstrual cycle of a woman can match the cycles of the moon. Why can't human blood in general be affected by the moon cycles? The moon and the pull of gravity. Magic. in its most natural of existences. Yeah, I know you'll probably come back to me and say, no, that's science. But but like, it's natural, it's nature. And what do you think magic has always been? Natural and nature. The way life is set up is for people that believe there is only one normal way of living. This normal way has caused issues with translations of material for centuries. Mankind has bent and twisted language for a long time. And I swear, the English, Spanish, and French have fought over which language should be used in which country for centuries. It still goes on today in Belgium. I feel we need to stop looking at magic as an impossible interdimensional trick and look at it as being nature, natural, me, you, everyone, and all that is conjured within life. There's an amazing flow to being. And perhaps one day, everyone will be able to know it without needing a signpost. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here until the end. Click like. Click subscribe. Click notify. Be daring. Click all three. Come on, join in. Come on and click. Thank you for staying to the end. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings to you all.